Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 19th of November. So, what's in store today then? On this later video than normal, but had problems, internet problems, computer problems this morning. So slightly later, but I thought, well, I'll do it when I get back from the school run, which is often the time when I'm more likely to be trading than later. Guys, a moment later. I don't want to do that. So what we've got in store news-wise today, we've seen the UK inflation data coming out higher than the expectations there. There are some of the underlying numbers which are slightly lower than expectations, but this isn't holding up too well. In fact, if you look at the core data there, it's just untouched actually, but headline figure slightly higher. Okay, later on this evening we've got FOMC, but probably one of the biggest things here, if I come back to here at some stage or other, Nvidia 2120. We've got the earnings. Now there's a lot hanging into this apparently. Now whether that's just AI on the internet coming up with the feed here telling me that, but apparently the market's sitting there waiting for it, so we'll see. Right, let's get on and look at these markets then. Starting off, we'll start off as ever with the euro US dollar, and well, it looks like it's continuing its downward direction there. Lower highs, lower lows on the 4-hourlies. It's been very choppy yesterday. I mean, it popped up there at the 8 o'clock in the morning looking like it might have changed the structure, but it didn't. It turned back, and then in the afternoon likewise. These markets are just so ugly at this stage, so if you can't find a decent trade, don't trade, is the answer here. This is looking soft again at the moment. It's 8:48 as I'm recording this. It's come back to these prior lows here, which are providing have been providing some support, not too far off of previous levels there. We come back up the time frames. It's really just hanging there. Otherwise, it's got nothing else there. It's only on this short term that it's there. So maybe in the next hour or so we'll get a breakdown of that. Target wise, the pivots are relatively modestly pinched. Well, they were yesterday as well. I would think it's quite possible to break the normal stats there and be running off down towards the S2 potentially. Saying that, waiting for news, waiting for the Fed news. Maybe the markets will continue to chop. Talking of chopping, you can see the pound here on the lower time frame. You can just see it from the upper time frames. The mess it's in at the moment is still well. I say it's looking like it's starting to break down from this sort of bear flaggy pattern on the dailies. But you look at the mess it's in on the 4-hourly picture. Last week it barely went anywhere. It's barely going anywhere at the moment. So well, we'll see. Might start a breakdown at some point, but it's not looking pretty for sure. US dollar yen, and when it goes, it'll probably really fly. By the way, the pound, but you've got to be careful you don't just sort of try and catch into it and get caught out. Fake outs. We want a proper breakdown. Right. So pushing to the upper side here. US dollar yen, maybe R1's got some potential. Aussie US dollar, I don't really like some of these on the bigger time frame. They're still ranging, and this the Aussies. I'm not even going to bother with it because it's too much in a range. It's not got even a, well, it's not of interest to me. The US dollar CAD, I'm trying to catch a bit of a bounce here maybe. Just really, yesterday it came off pretty decently. See how it reacts on the lower time frames here into its daily pivot. It's not far off, but this may be something for the afternoon. I'm really looking at this and thinking, well, there we go. That's what I'm looking at. Break of that level there. So if it gets into the pivot, it starts rolling over. Maybe for this afternoon, not a morning trade for me. Don't know why I clicked on New Zealand dollar. It's dull as dishwater mostly, but it's not looking so bad now on the dailies again. It's again, so many of these markets, look at the chop that it's gone through here. It's just so, I mean, on the hourlies, there's the temptations to get into trades or whatever else. This would have been looking for a temptation yesterday down towards its S2 in that earlier stage or at some point, but just never came back down, pushed down there. In fact, it did end up into its pivot. Looking at it at the moment, it's a lower high would come in if it breaks the lows there, but target wise, it's already done such a decent move there. US dollar Swissy, the dollar's starting to get a bit more traction here. We broke the pivot. It was looking quite at one stage here that we'd get a decent breakdown, but that was a couple of days ago now. That was it. Anyway, not well, maybe on the upper time frames here. It could be on for the R1, R2 even. It hasn't caught the daily pivot. It's looking sort of consolidating around the highs there. It's put higher lows in, so structurally it's started changing. The trend's been broken here, the higher lows on the 4 hourly as well, so structurally this has changed. It's closed above its 50, etc. So possibly see a trade continuing through, but really need the next bar to come through, maybe a sort of 9-10 o'clock bar, 9 o'clock bar. The euro yen double top in here, really not an ideal short the way it's been running, and it would be really looking, we'd be looking for a break of the low between the two highs here as a trigger on that if it's going to roll over. So I've still got a highlighter on this Euro Aussie for some reason. I'll just run through into this. It's not really doing a great deal here, is it? It's gone one way then t'other. Nope, not interested in that at the moment. Okay, so there's not a great deal this morning. Gold is up nearly 0.5%, but bigger picture, yesterday it stuck its heels in there. It's alright, everything's, but it's getting a little bit stuck. It's got quite a bit of resistance just above it. Again, a lower time frame, structurally it's changing shape here, but upper time frames are not quite so obvious. Still looks like it could drop off again there. Oil down nearly, well, not far off short of 1% there after a bit of growth there, but again it's ugly as sin, not of interest for me. S&P's up a little bit this morning relatively, but the bigger picture is looking quite grim. We broke the lows there between the well, from giving us a confirmed higher low yesterday that came through properly, and it is looking soft. But I think Nvidia's report is being held up as the barometer of trading. So I think we might get a lot of chop here today, this morning, maybe even through the US session. Got the Fed minutes. What might come out of that could create some more whippy saw type price action. So I think it's just a case of being careful here. Okay, it's just really I tell you, it's grim outside and it's grim here. Look, FTSE heading south and continues to look like in its southbound lower highs coming through, breaking down and looking soft. Looks like it's got more downside there potential as well. This morning potentially, yep. So looking soft. See if it continues through post 9 o'clock. The DAX, this is my favourite short, but didn't catch into anything yesterday, and it was looking to see if it hit this little point here, but it never made it. It was just too weak. Just in the midst of nowhere at the moment, but looking like there's I'll just be looking for this maybe this afternoon for some shorts, maybe even into the evening. Right, there's nothing right at this stage. Normally we've got something looking a little bit more on the go, but as I say, it's probably not a great surprise waiting for the Fed data out there. We've got the US non-farms etc. tomorrow. These markets are a little bit jittery, a little bit lacking in anything at this stage. So on that lovely news, I will leave you there. Have a good day. Bye for now.